My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am the diaspora machismo. My people, all in all, it has been another beautiful day for a protest, and I enjoyed every moment of my protest. Let me first remind you, the front of my sign said, I don't want the white man's money, the white man's woman, the white man's friendship, and or the white man's fame. And the reverse of my sign says, white man, why have you re-enslaved the African American, the Latinos, etc.? It has been another beautiful day for protest, and there is nothing particularly important that I should bring to your attention as it relates to what transpired while I protested. And as you know, when I have finished protesting and when I have brought you an update as to what transpired while I protested, it is always my pleasure and my delight to bring to you something of a social nature in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I brought to your attention that the Sandals Resort, the exclusive facility in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, particularly in Bucament, was a big money grab by Ralph Gonsalves. But I did not understand something that I must bring to your attention right now. Let us consider the fact that when Ralph Gonsalves and Camilo Gonsalves, the two crooks in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, presented the Sandals Resort project to Vincentians, which include me, they brought some conmen with them. And these conmen were in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the radio, on the television, on social media, speaking about their studies. And their study says that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is the hottest thing in the tourist industry right now, and it is only going to get better. They were trying to sell Vincentians into accepting and praising Ralph Gonsalves' effort in getting the Sandals, the very popular hotelier, to come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines to invest in an exclusive resort at Bucament. These people are nothing else but crooks. Those videos are on social media, on Facebook and on YouTube, and you can find them if you want to find them. They obstruct members of our community who are making a living by farming. Ralph Gonsalves used eminent domain to take away lands from legitimate farmers, and they give them to the Sandals Resort. Vincentians were of the opinion that the Sandals people were coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and they were investing Sandals money, only to come to the realization that the monies that were invested by the Sandals group were loans that was backed by St. Vincent and the Grenadines government. My people, what actually happened here? The Sandals did not put up any money. They did not take a risk, and they are not taking a risk. The loan that the Sandals Resort is using or have used to elevate that facility that was started by another henchman, David Ames. It was like St. Vincent and the Grenadines going to the bank, taking out the loan for themselves and hand over the money to the Sandals people. If Sandals default on paying that loan, the responsibility for the repayment of those monies lies in the hands and on the shoulders of Vincentians and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This was the same thing that happened to the Otley Hall Marina project when James Mitchell went to a consortium of banks in Europe and back alone for Valdataro, the Italian ship company, and Dr. Rolla. We know what happened to that. Now listen to me. The point I want you to take away from this discourse is on the 13th of March 2024, Sandals opened up their business. On the 13th of April 2024, Sandals opened up their doors for business in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And in February of 2025, less than a year in operation, the Sandals Resort put up the so-called facility that would have taken St. Vincent and the Grenadines to another level, because the tourist product in St. Vincent and the Grenadines was such that it was worthwhile investing over $100 million in that resort. But yet, less than 11 months after they opened their doors for business, they are now selling the resort. It is either one of two things. The money grab for Ralph Consaves have pushed him to a stage where he is desperate, in need of a large volume of money. I don't know if it's for the December general election, or if the Sandals Resort were doing so poorly that it is a waste of time to continue the operation of the Sandals Resort under this kind of economic condition. My people, it is a two-way thing. Ralph Consaves is hard strapped for money, and he wants money to invest in deceiving the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the December general election. And he is forcing the Sandals Resort to sell the resort as soon as possible, so we can liquidate the loans that we have in St. Vincent's name. I can get money to run the campaign, and you guys can go about your business, and everybody will leave here better than they came in. My people, St. Vincent and the Grenadines does not get the volume of tourists to see the Sandals exclusive resort to be possible, to be profitable. Another thing, the type of tourists that comes to St. Vincent and the Grenadines is not the money-bearing tourists, so they cannot really afford to pay for the luxury that the Sandals Resort will be offering. And they have, Ralph Consaves have fools, university degrees, holders like Jacqueline Archibald and those people pumping up the resort. Even today, the Sandals Resort is up for sale because it is unprofitable. And Jacqueline Archibald and those fools are still pumping up the resort because those fools with university degree is trying to deceive the people so that their master, Ralph Consaves, could get another term in our government. The Argyle International Airport, or so they call it, have been in operation for over 6 years now. And yet, we have never received a comprehension report from the operation of the Argyle International Airport after 6 years. How much tourists came through that airport in the first year, in the second year, in the third, fourth, and fifth year? and has the volume of people that came into St. Vincent and the Grenadines after the international airport went into operation far surpass that which came into St. Vincent and the Grenadines during air travel when compared to the E.T. Joshua Airport. There is nothing, no information as to if the Argyle International Airport have realized its objective by increasing the amount of visitors that came to St. Vincent and the Grenadines by air. Nothing. The next question I want to ask them, how much monies does the government have to put into the Argyle International Airport in subsidies to ensure that they keep it running? My people, these are questions the opposition should be asking, but they are not asking it. Why? Why? Is it because our opposition is as incompetent as the government is? You be the one to answer that question, my people. On Wednesday, I have some record-breaking information to bring to your attention. Make sure, whatever you do, don't miss Wednesday's episode of this presentation. My name is Chief Strongblood. I am St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son. I am indeed the diaspora, machismo, the epitome of masculinity.